Are we leaving something important unsaid today? I know you came with some notes and whatnot.
Yes, I was thinking. It's a very good question. Yes, I think that the way science is practiced now is very impressive in one way, in that it's technically very effective. Information and insights are being generated at a faster pace than ever before. But it's also characterized by a lot of hype and public relations aspects that I find distasteful. Every organization has to have a more glitzy and fancy brochure advertising its wares so it can compete with its peers and compete for money. When I started in science, this was just immediately as World War II was ending, but I was working in, say, part-time in a laboratory of Michael Heidelberger, who was one of my great heroes, and whose biographical memoir I wrote recently. You might want to look at that memoir. Michael Heidelberger was a very productive scientist. And he was supported by a philanthropic organization, I think the Hawkins Foundation, all his life. He never had to apply for a grant. Private philanthropy supported research. A little bit of industrial grants maybe here and there. NIH did practically nothing. Department of Agriculture, nothing. Department of Defense, maybe Aberdeen supported ballistics research. And then came this explosion of support from the government after World War II, for very good reason. And now it's drying up. That support is drying up. The amount of money is still very large, enormous, but the pool of people competing for it has grown enormously. See, people unwisely, but inescapably, thought they could grow exponentially. Nothing grows exponentially. You can't have every scientist training 10 more scientists, and each one of them wanting to 10 more. You get to the point where you have too many scientists. In a way now we're training too many people. We're certainly training too many people for the amount of resources available. So we're going to go through a very painful period of contraction. And private philanthropy is going to become more and more important. And that's why the public relations aspects of science are becoming more and more important. And I find that distasteful, but inescapable. There's competition for money. I find my younger colleagues spending enormous amounts of time and energy applying for grants over and over again, many, many different. I didn't have that problem. I had to apply for grants, but it was a trivial matter. I'll give you one example. When I was at Washington, I became chairman of a department of microbiology. The school gave us a budget. The budget was big enough to cover my salary completely, my secretary's salary, and the janitor's salary, and a little bit more for teaching. So when I started to recruit people to populate the department as young faculty members, I expected them to get 50% or 3/4 of their salary from grants, and the rest we would supply. And I said, I should do the same thing. If I expect that of them, I should do the same thing. So I refused to take a salary, my complete salary from Washington U. I said, I'll take only 50%. I'll get the rest from my grant. I wasn't being noble. It was easy to do, and it set a good example. And easy. Yeah, you'd be crazy to do that these days. Right? So I think the science can be great, but the conditions for doing science, I think, will be getting worse.